Yeah.
I'm becoming a big fan of, like, it actually helps me stay on conversation by fucking fidgeting around a little bit. So I'm making sure everything is, like, just loose enough.
Do you want to start the show?
Yeah.
I've already hit record.
Oh. We recording over there?
Yep.
This is 20.
This is 20.
Episode 20 of Money Man and the Riff Lord.
Jesus Christ. I did name it. I did name the last podcast Money Man and Riff Lord.
I saw that.
And I got a text from a buddy of mine, Jonathan Pinchoff, who just launched his podcast. I got a text, and all it said was Money Man and Riff Lord, and it had some, like, crying, laughing emojis. And I was like, it's not bad. Go ahead, Dushyant. Thanks. You can name the next one. Now, episode 20. You probably heard me on episode 19 say that we were going to have a guest. We do not have a guest, obviously, except for all these fucking beers, because my schedule and your schedule fucked it up.
Yep.
You fucked it up yesterday. We are potting on, what is it Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're potting on Monday.
Is it Monday? That sucks.
Yeah, that shows you how fucking long of a Monday it was. We were supposed to pot on Sunday, like always. Colin couldn't make it. I fucked it up for Dave. Dave, something came up. He couldn't make it today.
Was he lined up yesterday?
Yes.
Damn it.
And he was even good tomorrow, just not tonight.
Damn it.
But I fucked it up tomorrow because I have band practice.
It's fine.
So
sorry, Dave.
Yeah, sorry, Dave. So we're gonna try and get him back soon. That's the way it is when we have busy fucking adult lives, though.
The thing is like mine wasn't even like a crazy busy thing. It was my wife was at a concert and I was at home.
Yeah, no, and my wife does things too. I totally get that. But
I wasn't trying to make your.
But my wife, she puts things on the fucking calendar, beer. Colin, and I can see it more than 3 hours before the next event.
Here's the deal.
Explain yourself, Colin.
No. My wife also keeps a calendar, a family calendar that I am on. And
see? So it was just your fault. It was fully your fault.
It was, I spaced in my mind. I associated the Lizzo concert with Sierra's birthday, which is this coming weekend. So my mind, the Lizzo concert was next weekend.
Oh, that makes sense.
And so I didn't even think about it. And then Sunday morning, I woke up and I was like, oh, podcast. Oh, fuck. Like that was basically it.
Yeah.
So
no, it is difficult. And I don't think people realize that. Like when you have a career, you also have a band, you also have a family that does shit. It definitely limits your amount of time that you have. Mm-hmm. And so that once we moved to a weekly cadence, it was like we were on it there for a while, but it got quickly shifty. We had to do it on a Monday, do it on a Saturday, do it on a
parts
Tuesday.
Of the summer got busy.
It did.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Before we go any further, what the fuck did you bring to drink? Because it looks awesome.
Okay, I couldn't not buy it because it's the first time I saw it canned. Or I mean, the first time I saw it for sale. That wasn't. I had this at.
You're spilling it.
I had this at the Sonic Temple Festival. It's called Enter Night, and it literally says in collaboration with Metallica. And this was a collab that they did with Stone Brewing. And Stone always makes great beers. It's a Pilsner. To be honest with you, it's nothing to write home about. Yeah. It's too expensive for what it is, but it's a fucking Metallica beer.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
You.
And I'm pretty sure that nothing would ever get by with that blatantly like ripped off of a logo. Nothing would ever fly if it wasn't a true collaboration with the band.
For sure. And it's funny because when I first had it, it was at that Sonic Temple Festival, the Rock on the Range or whatever. And, they have like the regular beer tent. And then there was like the Enter Night bar or something like that.
They had a whole
and it was
tent?
The size of a normal vendor thing, like a big ass thing. And it was you walked into it and there was a wood bar and it was dark and there was red lights and it was all this stuff. And all they were serving was this Pilsner. Wow. And it was like $12 for one of these cans.
That's like Blue Jackets money. But you go there and get a fucking like Miller Lite for $11.50 or something.
But yeah, this honestly doesn't taste much better.
So I brought beer too, just because you and I hadn't talked about it. So I didn't know if you were bringing beer. And I was like, you know what? Tonight, I just feel like drinking. So had to make sure that we brought beer. And I brought Sibling Revelry, which, by the way, I've had the Swing State beer. Swing State's awesome. I had no fucking idea this wasn't called Sibling Rivalry. I've read this as... read it as Sibling Rivalry for the history of this beer until today.
It's funny.
Yeah. It's what the fuck? What does revelry even mean? What does it even mean?
Revelry, I think, is like having a good time together.
Oh,
I think
that makes sense
I could
because
be totally wrong.
it is family owned, and it's like brothers and cousins that own it out of like Cleveland or something.
What's the definition of revelry?
Revelry means lively and noisy festivities, especially when these involve drinking a large amount of alcohol.
Oh shit!
So it's getting drunk
yeah
with your friends.
It's turning up with your siblings.
There it is.
Wow, very nice. What
I should do that more often.
You should. What an appropriately named beer, because this beer is over 9%. So I don't know what that thing is, but it's got. What the fuck has it got? Oh, it's a malty bastard.
I gotta say,
pure sugar.
I've never used the word before, and I was pretty close with my definition.
You were. I used to have one of those stupid ass calendars that told you like a different big fancy word every day, and I never used it.
You mean like the calendar that's like on every other cubicle in America?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think I got it.
The other one or the far
I think
side.
I got it as like a an office gift, like probably what's the fucking thing where you draw names and Secret
White
Santa?
Elephant?
No, Secret Santa.
Oh, Secret Santa.
Yeah, I think I got it as like a Secret Santa.
You ever give any fucked up white elephant gifts? Or like, do you have like some people like
what? Okay, how about this? Do you have a go-to white elephant gift?
Yeah,
I do too. You say yours first, or do you want me to say mine first?
it doesn't matter.
Go for it.
So I've done this twice, and it's always hilarious. Is like I get a frame, and I do a signed glossy of myself.
Oh, like a headshot? Fuck
so
yeah.
The first time I did it was a white elephant gift with my like Bible study. So it was like, really tame white elephant party.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, like doing the thing with the chin on your hand, like they do, like you see like comedians headshots and stuff like that. And then I just signed it, "Stay sweet," with a heart and my signature. So the second time I did it, it was my best friend's party and Christmas party, and I literally in front of our curtains in my living room, like the white drapey curtains.
Oh yeah.
I took a lamp and shined it down. Then I had this like mid-century chair, and then I had these short red shorts.
So you made it sexy for that second
short red shorts in boots that were just like untied, and then no shirt and a denim vest.
Oh, do you have a copy of that?
I could get a picture of it very easily.
Because I will definitely add that to the video.
And I'm like this. I'm like sitting there looking all sexy. And that one says "Stay sweet" as well. And now is above the toilet in their house.
Oh wow.
Pretty funny.
So I like that we're both fucking narcissistic as fuck, giving people gifts of us. Mine is if you go on Groupon, literally any time of the year, you can order like blankets and shit of pictures.
There
of
it
me,
is. There
of
it
me.
is.
Yeah, so it's just me, but fucking an entire blanket, like a fleece throw that I imagine somebody keeps on the back of their, furniture for their animals to lay on. But it's me. I could definitely make that a much more X-rated version. I mean, like you remember how we talked about like Speedos and fucking weird banana hammocks and like underwear that have elephant trunks and shit like that.
Yes.
Like I would love to do one of those. I just wonder if they would print it.
You could probably get away with it.
Yeah, I'll find somebody.
It's worth a shot.
It is.
Worst I could tell you is this does not meet our guidelines or whatever. There's a lot of goddamn gnats in there tonight.
You know why? Because Samara practiced. Quite literally, they were walking out as I was walking in. Dude, I had this. When I walked in here, it was hotter than an anus in this fucking place. It was so hot. I left the door open. I got the fan blowing, and I just tried to blow all the stank out. But it's still hot and musty, and there's flies.
I got to go back to white elephant for a second. You know how like most people play it where you can like trade or you could steal something that you think is better.
And then you get to go back and pick after somebody steals your shit.
Yeah. And or you can steal from somebody else.
Yeah.
Some people play by that rule.
Yeah. I do.
One time we were playing it, and this was the one that was like in my like small group Bible study, and somebody brought a bag of potatoes, like a 30-pound bag, like a big bag of Idaho potatoes.
Yeah.
And obviously nobody wanted that because there's pictures of me and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And other stupid shit that's not a bag of potatoes. Like literally the stupidest thing you could bring. Anyway, my friend Eli, really simple guy, kind of hippie-ish. That motherfucker stole the bag of potatoes from somebody because he legitimately wanted to just use them at home. And he was like really happy about it.
So we used to do it at work every year. We did it at like my boss's house and shit like that. And there was apparently, even before I was in that last department, there was a gift that went around. It was a acrylic painting that somebody did. It was not that great by any means. It looked like, you know, when you go to like wine and paint nights or whatever, it looked like one of those, but it was like a cruise ship. It was a acrylic wine and paint cruise ship.
Oh man, you just shit over so many people's artwork.
Because they're just going to drink wine and they're just fucking slapping some paint on there, right? Anyway, so that painting had been in the White Elephants thing for like apparently years. Like every year somebody gave that back, and that was the thing. And if you ended up with it at the end of the night, you had to display it on your desk for the year until you could pass it off. I did not get that. But I'll tell you what, everybody else almost brought alcohol. So I ended up with this local collaboration pack beer. It was like an 18 pack of beer and it had like Seventh Son and blah, blah.
Nice.
So I actually ended up with some shit that I liked. It's not bad. Did you get in? I know that we've kind of briefly talked through text, so I'm not going to pretend we haven't, but did you get into much this week? Was it a pretty busy week for you?
It was a busy fucking week. I mean, the last week was crazy. It was crazy at work. I was in client meetings all day, every day. And so I had barely any time to like do work last week. So like my work week was crazy. And then it was like, we did fucking junior high orientation.
Oh man.
Dude, it was crazy. We get there and I'm thinking that it's going to be like orientation has always been at the elementary school where, you know, you just sit in there with your kids and you learn about the school policies and stuff like that. And then you go meet their teachers. Yeah. We get there and the kids get a packet and he gets his class schedule, which is, I have a son who's old enough to have a class schedule, which is just crazy. And they give them their class schedule. And we sat down, they told us a handful of things and they said, okay, now parents, we're going to take the kids homeroom by homeroom, the sixth graders homeroom by homeroom, and they're going to do a dry run of their classes, meet their teachers, and find their lockers and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And without you.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, oh no, because Rowan's got pretty bad anxiety and we've had a hard time with them throughout school. And so I find myself being extra worry.
Like now you have anxiety about his anxiety.
Because it's like, dude, this, like he's always had a hard time with change and this is like a huge shift. And I leaned over to him as soon as they said that it was going to be without the parents. And I was like, dude, are you good? Or like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm good. And I was like, wow, that was awesome. So then he goes down, they call his homeroom and he goes down and he flashed a look at me as he was walking out that door. And he was like a fucking ghost, man. Yeah. I was just like, he was just like, and I was just like, oh no, he's
feeling it.
He was feeling it. And so I decided to just go to work because we realized the parents could just do whatever. So I told Sierra, I was like, I need to be at work. So I went to work. I was literally for 3 hours, like I couldn't think of anything else. I just felt anxious and nervous.
He wasn't in there 3 hours though, was he?
Their thing was 2 hours long, but I didn't hear from Sierra until like 3 hours later. So I like was trying to work and I was trying to be present in these meetings and I was like so in my own head because I was just like having like a really emotional, but also scared dad moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was feeling emotional. It's like, oh my gosh, my little baby firstborn boy has a locker.
Well, like Hayden got his locker this year.
Oh, that's cool.
So but he's in fifth, right? So some of the fourth graders last year, they had 4 fourth grade classes. 2 of the fourth grade classes got lockers and 2 did not. There weren't enough or whatever. And he was bummed. I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna put in a locker? I don't understand. Like it's just to get used to twisting that knob and learning how, scroll a whole bunch of ways, right, stop, and then go past the number and loop around. Like it's to learn that. But like, what the fuck as a 4th or 5th grader do you put in a locker?
Yeah.
Like he's in advanced classes or whatever you want to call it. So he actually switches to a different teacher halfway through the day.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the kids stay in the same classroom all day.
Yeah.
So again, what the fuck are you putting in a locker?
It's weird too, because like the 6th graders, they're only allowed to go to their locker at 4 designated times a day. So it's not even between classes. I don't really know how that works, how it's going to work.
Yeah.
I mean, at 6th grade, you're not carrying around 100-pound textbooks. Or
no, that's
like that,
what I was telling him. I was like, right now, it benefits you to just keep your shit with you and go from point A to point B, and use your locker for, I don't know, store a fucking like hoodie in there in case like you don't take something to school and get chilly.
Mm-hmm.
Like do that. Once you get to like middle school, that's when you're switching classes, which by the way, that's not always the case. In my school, back in like when I went to Catholic middle school, my teacher switched classes. Isn't that weird? I sat in my same desk all day and the teachers would rotate because there was such a big problem. One, with kids fucking around in the hall in between classes. They were like, fuck it, just leave them in their goddamn desk. Well, obviously not goddamn, considering it was Catholic school, right? Leave them in their desk.
Gosh darn.
Yeah, gosh dang desk. And then just, 4 or 5 people would rotate. And that's actually pretty fucking smart. But I wonder if there's something to the psychology of like letting kids get up and socialize between classes. Maybe it makes them less fuckheads during class or something.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I would think. Dude, there was this, I already told this story, I think. A kid named Michael Myers in my school.
No.
Did I not tell that?
No.
Oh, man. So there was a kid named Michael Myers, and in every ounce of the name, he lived up to it. He was a fucking weirdo. And he used to take Bic pens and take them completely apart and just have like the Bic pen tube, and then take a light bright and cut the big part off of it and shoot light brights at people with like a fucking spit dart.
Whoa.
Yeah. And dude, I saw him fucking nail people from the back corner of the class to people walking in the fucking door in the front left.
Yeah, you got a little weight on that.
It's got a little weight. It's got a point. It's a bullet. I mean, it is a fucking bullet. That same kid during indoor recess picked up a chair and hit my buddy Andrew in the face with it and knocked his 2 front teeth out in 7th grade.
What's that guy doing now?
I have no idea. We mobbed that dude. At the time that it happened, we jumped on that dude and started pummeling him right there in indoor recess. And after that, I got to be honest, I don't think he was in school anymore, but it's hard for me to remember back. My memory is cloudy with old age.
Yes.
Do you find yourself just fucking up old stories, or like having to think a story that you've told 1,000 times? You have to think like, am I telling this right?
No, I don't get, I don't do that necessarily. But I start to forget how many times I told the story.
Oh, I definitely do that.
So that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you told me that story like 2 weeks ago.
By the way, this beer is strong as fuck.
I'm going to have one.
You should, yeah. After this beer, I want to switch to one of yours. You switch to one of mine. There's no way I'm drinking a fucking 6-pack of these things. It's really strong. Like you definitely have to like malty beer.
I would hope you're not going to drink a 6-pack of 9%ers.
You have to like malty beer to drink this for sure. So you said your wife went to Lizzo.
Mm-hmm.
Lizzo seemingly popped the fuck up out of nowhere.
Yeah. She
and real quick, there was a movie. I don't know what the movie is, but there's some chick dancing around in the kitchen, and she's like, I don't know if she's drinking, but she's got like, I think she has like a Latina AF shirt on, and she's singing that song. And like Amy showed me that, and it was like that fucking week, all of a sudden I saw the word Lizzo and I saw that song everywhere.
Are you talking about the song Juice?
I don't know.
Blame it on my juice.
No. It's the fucking one that's like, you could have had a bad bitch.
Oh,
non-committal.
yeah.
That song. It was that song in the movie. I don't know what the fucking movie is.
She's worked real hard to get where she's at. I'll say that. I think I was first introduced to Lizzo maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and she had not put out proper full length yet. It was a series of EPs and singles and
Did
stuff
she?
like that.
Is this a tour to support her full length?
Yes.
Okay.
And a lot of that stuff was like more rap.
Yeah.
I mean, it still all had that kind of R&B, singy pop thing to it, but it was a little bit. The lyrics were always like really wild and fun. And
I feel like female MCs are winning right now.
yeah,
Like there's definitely
and then she
an explosion.
then she wrote that Juice song, and all of a sudden it was like pop star.
I haven't heard it.
Like she was on Jimmy Fallon, and like I guarantee she'll be on SNL this year. Like she's just, speaking of late night, fucking Torch was on late night.
I saw you posted that.
Was on Late Night with Seth Meyers this week, and they played their single that's a little bit more melodic on the air, but then they played a second song that was like the digital exclusive, like on NBC's YouTube or whatever.
Sure.
And it's one of the heaviest songs on the record, and in the drop Z tuning I was telling you about.
Right.
And I am convinced that it is probably the heaviest song that has ever been recorded in front of a live TV studio audience. I
actually remember your hashtag. You said drop Z on NBC.
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on a minute.
What? You getting communications from the other side?
Yes.
From the fam? Communications from the fam?
It's trivial too.
That's fine. I'll just go ahead and go right into a story. So something else I did this week is first of all, let me just make an announcement. Spicy chicken nuggets are back at Wendy's. And I don't know if you were quite as spicy chicken nugget obsessed as I was, but when they went away, that was a big shock to my, that was a large part of my fast food diet just taken away.
I'm not a huge chicken nugget at fast food place guy. I'm a burger guy or a sandwich guy in general.
Sure. That's fair.
But spicy chicken nuggets are awesome, and Wendy's are the masters at spicy chicken.
They fucking sure are.
But I will say this. If Wendy's is going to bring anything back, and Wendy's in Columbus, if you're listening, meet me in the DMs. If Wendy's going to bring anything back, it needs to be the fucking Monterey Ranch chicken, because that shit was my shit.
It's just a chicken sandwich with what? Monterey Jack cheese?
Monterey Jack cheese, ranch sauce, and lettuce.
Are you telling me that they don't have the ingredients to make that right now?
They don't have Monterey Jack.
Are you positive? They got like 5 new chicken sandwiches.
All right, well, I'm going to look it up and see if I can make myself one online on the app.
So I'm huge on digital adoption. I love to self-serve. I love to use apps. If I showed you my phone,
The Wendy's app is amazing.
It's fucking incredible.
I use it 3 days a week.
Okay, never had it before. Didn't know it was amazing. Downloaded it like, what is today? Today's Monday. I keep going back to that, right? Like Thursday or Friday, I downloaded it. I'm like, I'm getting some fucking spicy nuggets. And then my whole department's like, dude, I want some nuggets too. And what we do is we jokingly, there's 3 people on one side. My 2 coworkers, we all have J names. So we call ourselves Juber Eats, Jub Hub, and Jordash. That's what we jokingly, yeah. So we all have our own, right?
It's fun. That's a double one. Though,
it is because of the
DoorDash
jeans. Yeah. So we jokingly call ourselves that because like basically one day, like I'll run and they're like, Juber Eats running today? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll go. And I'll go pick up Chipotle or whatever it is for us, right? So I'm like, look, I'm getting some chicken nuggets today. And usually not everyone's on board with fast food. Like usually it's like, Firehouse Subs or Chipotle or.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like everybody was on board with Wendy's. Everybody was like, chicken nuggets. And I'm like, fuck.
I don't know what it is that Wendy's does right, but it is like people who don't like fast food will always eat Wendy's.
It's fucking fresh. And they got the best social media managers in the fucking game.
Hardcore kids.
Holy shit. Millennials are
millennial hardcore kids.
Yeah, dude. Anyway, so I'm like, all right, what are you guys getting? And everyone's like, nuggets. I'm like, holy fuck. So I sit down, I start totaling up the nuggets. I'm like, guys, we need 76 nuggets. Like, I said, that's embarrassing. I can't go to the drive-thru or even in and order that. I'm going to download the app. So I download the app, and first thing I see is deals. I click on it, and it's like free 6-piece nugget with any purchase. I'm like, oh, that's fucking perfect. There's 6 of our nuggets right there. So I proceed to put in an order for, first of all, they don't have 20-piece nuggets. That's weird. I thought everywhere had a 20. They have 10s. So I go, I put in 7 nuggets, 7 10-piece, a 6-piece, and then of course there's like somebody that orders like a chicken sandwich and some other shit and some fries and a Frosty and blah, blah. And I'm like, awesome. I can just fucking put this order in and walk in and say, hey, I'm here to get my order, right? I didn't know I had to check in when I got there. So I push the order and it's like, thank you. Check in when you get here and we'll start making your order. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking embarrassing. I still have to go and talk to somebody. All right. So I get there and I'm walking in and I make eye contact with the cashier person and they're like, oh, is that for dine in or to go? And I'm like, oh, I did a mobile order. Oh, I hit the check-in button. I was like, oh, it's okay. I did a mobile order. And I walk away and I start to sit down at the first booth and I hear a guy in the back go, whoa, how many nuggets is that? And I was like, oh shit, he just got my order. And somebody goes, oh shit, look at this. Look at this. Would you look at this? And the person looks over and goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7 10-piece. And a 6-piece. That's 76 nuggets. Dude, they're going crazy in the back. And I couldn't do anything but laugh. So I'm like crying, laughing in the first booth. And somebody goes, that can't be right. Is that right? We already paid for it. It's paid for. And I was like, oh my God, this must be like one of the largest nugget orders to come through this Wendy's. So then about a minute passes and then I hear, come here, get a manager. A manager comes over and he goes, how many spices? He calls them spices. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like I've just created a legendary nugget order at this place. So I ordered 76 nuggets, went back. I manhandled 20. 19. I gave one.
We just got the title of this episode. How many spices?
How many spices? There you go. Now, so I ate 19. And what's your sauce? What's your sauce choice? You fuck with sauce during nuggets?
Ranch.
That's what I got. I got ranch. I will say that I ordered about a couple of them, or I ordered like 2 or 3 with Sawsome sauce. Mm-hmm. It's some kind of weird fucking sauce. I feel like it's a ranch base.
It's trying to be cane sauce.
No, it's not.
It's trying.
You think so?
Failing.
Do you think so?
Maybe I'm thinking of a different sauce.
It's called Sawsome. I don't know what it is, but I didn't think it was.
I'm not going to eat anything called Sawsome.
I know.
Simple as that. It's stupid.
Today I went and got it. I got Wendy's again.
Bring back Monterey Ranch chicken, Wendy's. Get rid of fucking Sawsome.
No, I got a, what the fuck did I get today? I got the bacon jalapeno spicy chicken sandwich. And it looked, absolutely nothing like the picture. Holy fuck. Like,
the picture does make it look real good.
Dude, it was good as fuck. Like, don't get me wrong. It was still good as fuck. But Jesus Christ, could y'all put a little more into like making it even, if I go and I buy like, if I bought like this brown chair that's sitting over here and I show up and the brown chair has a completely different back and it's white, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? This is not the one I bought. Fast food is like the only place we accept it comes from the same place, but it looks like the knockoff. You know what I'm saying? That's the only place we accept shit like that is fast food.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's fucking crazy.
I totally
did I derail you with 76 nuggets?
No. Because I'm on there. I'm there with you. I don't know. I don't remember what I was gonna say. But the app is fucking awesome.
No, the app's great.
And
it's got a cute ass little Frosty dude that pulls out his binoculars and looks at you and shit.
In the restaurant, the kiosks way better than McDonald's kiosks.
I agree.
But
I like the McDonald's kiosk, but I don't think
interface sucks and it's too slow.
It's definitely too slow.
They're way too slow.
I don't think the Wendy's kiosk is that phenomenal either. And I don't actually blame it on anything except for they had to obviously provide some form of commercial touchscreen, right? And it doesn't have the same feel or response. It has some kind of plexiglass or something over
slow,
the front.
Though.
Honestly, I found myself having to push too hard and drag. They need to put some kind of matte finish on it so your finger slides on it.
Not the one in Clintonville. The one in Clintonville is awesome.
I went to the one on Bethel by Micro
The one in
Center.
Clintonville, you know the one I'm talking about? It's like a block north of North Broadway.
Absolutely.
That was the guinea pig restaurant.
Are you positive?
For the kiosks.
I thought that the one I thought that the one somewhere near Sawmill by the corporate head center or
maybe
corporate
both.
Center was.
I don't know.
It could have been
because this one was also it was the test location for the whole new look that's like cool.
Oh yeah, square and modern.
Yeah, and like
it's got a fireplace.
But that app, I've said this before on the podcast, but like I literally like check in, get out of the car, go in. And and they're like, "Hey, Colin."
Oh, they know you?
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
I go to that Wendy's like 3 days a week.
I will say this. Let me caveat with no matter
it's
how
embarrassing that they know me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No matter how good it is, I've only used the app to order twice, right? Both times they either got something wrong or missed something.
Really?
Yeah. So the first time I felt like it was more warranted because I ordered 76 nuggets.
Wendy's.
It was 2 different Wendy's. I ordered 76 nuggets, 2 medium French fries, a Frosty, and a home-style chicken sandwich. And they forgot one of the fries. So I talked to and I already paid for it. I talked to the coworkers. I said, look, we got some extra nuggets because of the free 6-piece. Work it out amongst yourselves. Maybe y'all can split the fries and the nuggets. So they did, right? The second time, what they got, they didn't miss something. They got something wrong. So I ordered 2 chicken sandwiches. One had no tomato. One had no mayo. And they made them both the same. So 2 out of 2, they fucked up. That does kind of bum me out.
I've never had a problem.
Yeah?
Never. And
do you order from like the same Wendy's?
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, you said you walk in. I would hope that you don't walk into multiple Wendy's and they're like, hey, Colin. Multiple fucking Wendy's like all across Columbus.
Oh, man. But this is another example. Just like the touch bar. Mm-hmm. You can't get me to use fucking Trello. But I'm just like, the Wendy's app is my fucking shit, dog.
Dude, I can't wait to show you. Like when we're done, I'm going to show you how many fucking food apps I have. I have a whole folder dedicated to food apps. And it's worked in my favor. My birthday was on the 13th. I got free food for at least a week and a half. I'm like, free fucking smash burger entree, free Bippy Bop, all kinds of free shit from Wendy's. I got free drink at Cane's, free Firehouse subs.
Back up.
Yeah.
How did you pronounce Bippy Bop?
Bippy Bop.
Bippy Bop.
Bippy Bop.
It's very cute.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, are you saying BB Bop?
Bippy Bop.
That's not right, is it?
It's probably not. You're probably correct.
I'm just look.
I've never heard somebody call it
I've never heard someone call it. Well, actually, online. I heard somebody call it BB Bop, but I've also heard somebody call a URL an URL. and a meme, a meme.
Oh, meme.
Actually, those last 2 were the same person. It was fucking Kyle. I was like, what the fuck did you just say? A meme?
Also, if you pronounce Chipotle.
Oh, we had that. Remember? That was a pet peeve of mine.
Oh yeah.
That was a trivial thing.
Well, fuck you still.
I had a dude at work that does that. Chipotle.
Stupid. By the way, when I drink a new beer, the first thing I do is look at the can, which by the way, this Metallica one has I left some beer in here. A whole paragraph's worth of bullshit like, it's on, it's time to get started, to crank things up, to get loud. Anyway, on the back of this, there is a definition of revelry.
Is it really?
People related by common tie celebrating with lively and noisy festivities, often involving alcohol.
See it. I see it. They got that shit straight off the goog. No, this shit's made with Trappist yeast.
Yes, very, very Belgian.
It is. It's very, very. That's actually a cool thing, though. I remember, like, I'm kind of glad that craft beer and things like that have exploded, because a long time ago I was looking for beers and I kept finding this Trappist ale called Orville, and I could not find that shit anywhere. And true Trappist ale comes from generally Belgium, to a monastery. Where Trappist yeast comes from, and nowadays it just feels like there's several of them. They're everywhere. But
guess more monks are trapping.
Meet me in a trap.
Come on, man.
Yeah, meet me in a trap.
You started saying Trappist, and I was like, I'm gonna go there.
Yeah, go there. That's completely fine.
Yeah, it's. You're a Belgian guy?
No. I just wanted to try Trappist. I wanted to try the Orville Trappist ale because it had such a fucking prestigious thing about it online, and no one in Columbus had it. The only time the first time I ever found it, I found it at Wyland's. And this is before all these other craft beer places popped up. I found it at Wylands because Wylands was like that spot that had the weird rare shit. And I've seen Orville a few places now, but Trappist yeast as a whole, I just feel like has exploded. Like everybody has a like this actually uses Trappist yeast, right? So I mean that's cool. And this is just some fucking place out of Ohio. They got that trap yeast.
Speaking of, we need to get Savor Pint to be a sponsor for the Heckin Cool Dads podcast because I literally buy beer there every week.
And that was one of the only places I could find major lager when we had Clint on.
Oh, yeah.
I called. First of all, I didn't call. I went several places. And then I went, man, I'm driving everywhere. Let me call some places. First place I call, Savor Pint. Boom. They had it. So, yeah. And it's right fucking there. Mm-hmm. We used to wrap up band practice sometimes and just go there instead of like going home.
I mean, it was a banging place tonight on a Monday night. On a Monday night. The bar was full.
I'm pretty sure you can buy like a 6-pack from the cooler right there and just sit down and drink.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't know if they charge you like a, you know, like the equivalent of like a corking fee. They probably charge you something like, yeah, I'll sell that to you. But if you want to drink it here, it's $2. I don't mind that.
There was this restaurant, you know where Old North Arcade is?
Yeah.
So
it's a half a block south of Hound Dogs.
Yeah. So the right next, like, they actually expanded into the space, but there was a place called, oh my God, now I forgot the name, Cafe something. And it was a guy who owned this place. Somebody comment and tell me what that cafe was called. God damn it, why can't I think of the name? Anyway.
It's like across from
Kobo.
Not Space Bar. Space Bar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just said Kobo.
You did. That's where Push Ahead played their first show.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. When it was Kobo.
Maranatha was at Bourbon Street. Anyway, I am losing my train of thought.
It's not just that. You're fucked up because you really want to know the name of the place.
Yeah. Cafe.
So they used to have a place.
Cafe Bella. Cafe
there
Bella.
You go.
And it was one dude ran the joint, and it was this really quaint place with mismatched furniture and not the coolest. Like nothing was like cool. It was all like looked like it was secondhand stuff. But anyway, he was some hippie dude, scientist. He used to work for Battelle.
Oh shit!
And he said that one day he realized that he was sick of developing weapons, and he was a chemical engineer.
Okay.
And he said, I was sick of developing weapons. I was sick of doing.
Does Battelle develop weapons?
Dude.
I mean, I know they're into like chemicals and shit like that, but they do like chemical warfare type shit.
Dude, Battelle Battelle, from what I hear, is like an iceberg where they're below the surface. There's tons of secret shit.
No shit.
The place on King Avenue, I'm fairly certain there's a lot of floors underground.
Really?
And one of the first things I learned when I moved to Columbus was that Battelle during the Cold War was a nuke target.
There's actually several in Ohio.
Yeah.
So out towards Lima, but there's the oil.
Oh, I'm saying is downtown Columbus. Our city downtown was a nuke target.
Towards Lima, there's the oil refineries, and those are in like the top 10 areas to like get hit by a terrorist attack.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And if you go down on the west side, like Fisher Road, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
And there's all those new giant power lines.
Yeah.
That go.
You're fucking.
What is wrong with me?
You're spilling the shit out of beer today.
Just adding to my aggravating day.
I remember my first beer.
Yeah, seriously. Those power lines, like that they made everybody put in their front yard.
Yeah.
They're like 60 feet tall. It's going out to the West Jefferson Battelle facility that's underground.
What?
They worked that out with like AEP or the city of Columbus or something like that, and they are literally funneling tons of electricity out to the west side.
Shut the fuck up. How have I literally never heard this? Because I lived on the west side.
It's crazy. That's just in the last couple of years. It's crazy. Yeah.
This Metallica beer is easy to drink.
Yeah.
That's rough, isn't it?
It's delicious.
It really is. It's really good.
It is a significant
you have to
shift.
like beer to drink that one for sure. It's malty as fuck.
Anyway, what I was getting at was this dude was like, he was this hippie dude who just happened to be a rocket scientist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was just like, I just want to start a restaurant. So he started this restaurant called Cafe Bella, and he had like all these like weird tubes and stuff all over the place that had like water running, and he grew all of his own herbs and all this stuff in these like big water tanks and on the roof,
Like
and all this
hydroponics, just
stuff.
running through
but
the
just
house?
all throughout the place, and the restaurant, like the tables all throughout, and like looked like you were sitting in a storage closet, or like, and but the crazy thing about this place was that this is what made me think of that, because you were talking about beer, was that it was BYOB.
No shit.
So you would go and they didn't sell beer, but you could bring a 6-pack with you to dinner. And the other thing was, like, if you make reservations, they didn't have like a set menu, and certain days he would make certain things.
Uh-huh.
But
So was he the cook?
He was the cook and the owner and one of the only people who worked there.
That's kind of fucking tight.
So
I can't believe I never went there.
Sierra and I loved that place, and so I took Sierra there for, I think, our first anniversary, maybe, or her birthday. I took her there once. But what you do, you call in, you make a reservation, and they'd be like, "What do you guys want to eat?" And I'll be like, "You know what? She's really into Italian food." And like, he made like a menu, a 3-course meal with dessert and everything,
Shut the fuck up.
based on what I said that she liked. It closed a couple of years ago. Old North took over that space, but
Old North used to be a tattoo shop too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because do you remember Short North Tattoo?
Mm-hmm.
Old North Tattoo was the expansion, and they took that area and they put in the hardwood floors and they did all the nice shit to it, and it was open like
Oh yeah, I remember.
like 6 months,
Yeah.
tops, and then it shut down, and then it became Old North Arcade or whatever the fuck.
I've still never been there.
Old North?
Yeah, I hear it's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like.
Mhm.
I went there on Sundays. I think it is. They allow kids in till a certain time.
Oh.
So I actually went to a couple.
That's right by my house. That's
Yeah.
a great idea.
Yeah. So you just take your
Shit.
kids, and it's just like 16-bit where they the games are
As long
free.
as you're drinking, it's free.
I mean, for the kids, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
well,
fucking
no, yeah,
free,
yeah,
free,
yeah.
free. But yeah, pinball is like 50 cents. It's your typical barcade.
Mhm. That's good to know. Now. Good to know now.
Let me know if you want to go. I'll
Yeah,
bring
dude.
Hayden down. That'd be tight.
I mean, that's literally like 2.5 minutes from my house. I mean, it's like right there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the last time I was there for a kid birthday party. They, like, what better place? Like, take a kid to a fucking free arcade and you just reserve a table. There was no one there. I mean, that's like the cheapest way to throw a birthday party possible.
I remember one time, I think it was my 7th birthday, 8th birthday, something like that.
How the fuck do you remember that?
Because I was a poor kid, so I didn't have a whole lot of big birthday parties, so they stick out.
Me either. But still,
I had a birthday party at Putt Putt Golf. I'm sure the place had a name, but we called it Putt Putt Golf.
Putt Putt was a literal golf place.
Oh, well, this was in Grand Rapids, so this was in Michigan. It might have been the same thing.
Maybe.
But anyway, we went to Putt Putt Golf, and 2 of my friends, like, we were out golfing and doing the arcade stuff. 2 of my friends literally spent like $20 in quarters, and they beat Ninja Turtles 2. The whole time. That's all they did was play Ninja Turtles 2. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
And yeah,
My favorite Ninja Turtles movie, by the way.
great movie.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
You did it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the dance.
No. You hit the mic.
I hit the mic, yeah. Come on. You've already hit the cord, hit the mic, moved the mic, spilled beer twice. Like, I feel like I was okay in doing that.
It's who I am.
It is who you are.
It's everything.
Do you have any like long, just fucking long running jokes with anybody?
Like inside jokes? Like something that you like has been going on for 10 years, 15 years?
Even that's longer than even I was talking about. I would say, I should take your phone and look up when the 2 Chainz album came out with the song 36 on it. I think it was called Boats, Boats, which is what the fuck did Boats stand for? I don't even know. It might have been called Boats too. Look that shit up, and I'll tell this story real quick while you do. So, probably like 6 or 7 years ago. That record came out, and it had a song on it called 36. And I actually started to talk about this one time on the podcast, and I never got back to it. But that's it. You're going to get us fucking flagged for fucking turn that shit off. That track is like, it's like a minute and a half long. It's only one verse. Anyway, but you heard the main part. He says 36. That's how many ounces in a brick. So he's obviously talking about cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
That's how many ounces are in cocaine. A brick of cocaine. 36.
Correct.
Right? So when that album came out, my dude Kylo and me fucking loved that album. Loved it. And I was in a test lead position at that time. I was writing like test scripts and like I had testers testing for me. Well, somebody, he kept saying like 36. He kept like singing it. Somebody looked over and goes, "What's 36?" And he looked at me and we both in unison went, "That's how many ounces in a brick." Like right in the middle of corporate America, right? And it was like the funniest shit that had ever happened. So from then on out, every single time, when did that album come out? Did you look it up?
2013. It's called Boats 2.
Boats 2. So since that album came out, since that day, every single time I see a random 36, take a picture and I send it to him. And he did the same thing. The very, very first
that
one.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, long running joke. So I remember me and Kyle, and this is before I even met my wife. Me and Kyle went on this fucking like dudes road trip. We went to like Chicago and Wisconsin and like a bunch of places, right? And I'll have to ask Kyle where the fuck we went because he's like totally better with that shit than me. But we went somewhere and we went to this school. It was like a college. It's a pretty prestigious college. I don't know where the fuck it's at, but he's like, "I want to see this place." I'm like, "Fuck it, let's go," because I'm always down. We go to this ice cream shop, and outside of the ice cream shop, on the ground, and mind you, it's a brick ground, there's a brick that says 36. And I'm like, "Oh, that's really funny." And the joke had just happened. So I took a picture of that brick, sent it to Kylo, and he goes, "Damn, on a brick nonetheless." And I'm like, "That's right." So from then on out, literally until this week, we are still sending pictures of 36. It could be a football player that ran across the fucking field and has a 36 jersey on. He'll pause it, take a picture. I saw some house numbers popped up on Facebook as an ad the other day. It was house numbers, said 36. I took a picture. I took a screenshot. Like, that is the longest running joke I think I have with fucking anybody. Shout out to my dude Kylo. And what's crazy about that is first of all, he moved to Texas and then moved back. I haven't seen the dude in years. And then for no reason, I was taking a walk around my building the other day and he was there grabbing lunch with a friend. And so I saw my dude and I sent him another 36 like the next day. But that is like literally the oldest running joke I think I have with anybody. Do you have any?
I do. That made me think of this. So, Brian Yost, Edison. Not many people know him as Edison these days, so I'm glad that somebody else does. Because
he's still in my phone as Edison.
I call him Brian now. He's dating one of my best friends, and she calls him Brian, and everybody calls him Brian now. So I call him Brian, but my head, he's still Edison.
He's Edison.
I still call him that. When I talk to Sierra, I'll be like, "Hey, Edison," like this,
Yeah.
Anyway, back in the day when we first met, we were both posters on the hxc.com message boards. Okay. Christian hardcore site, very robust message board.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, quick side note, we all did message boards in the scene back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Twitter is just a message board. That's really what it is.
I don't know why I can't get into Twitter.
But I'm saying that's what it is.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's somebody posts something and people thread off of it and reply to it. And Twitter's a message board.
But the thread doesn't keep going. It's separate threads.
Right. Reddit's a message board.
There you go.
Anyway, I was really active on this message board. Like, met a lot of friends on there, actually. It's friends that I'm still friends with now.
Really?
And Brian.
You met him from that message board?
Yeah. Yep.
Holy shit.
And a handful of people. Anyway, he, on that message board, his signature was, yeah, that's right. Like, yeah, comma, that's right, period. But the way he says it, if you talk to him, he goes, yeah, that's right. You know, it's kind of this smug.
So he actually says.
Yeah. So it's this kind of smug thing and smug, sarcastic thing. And that was 2001.
Damn.
18 years ago. To this day, anytime I see him, and I see him often because he's dating one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Like if I give him I say hi and give him a hug, I'll like kiss him on the cheek and whisper in his ear, yeah, that's right. I mean, we still.
You, believe it or not, you knew him before me. If you're saying 2001.
He's literally one of my oldest friends in the world.
I met him in 01 or 04, sorry. I met him in 04. Do you remember when he had that house off of like Patterson or something? It was called the Yeah Dude house.
Yeah.
What a fucking great time in history that was when every house had a name. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
There was like the Soma house, the Yeah Dude house, the fucking, what was the one that like, oh God, there was another one down in Short North. What the fuck was it? I spent New Year's Eve here with like Kevin Tolliver and a few people. I wish I knew what it was, but every house used to have a name. There was like the 14th house. We used to play shows at the 14th house.
16th house.
Who lived there?
Oh, was there shows at 14th and 16th? Oh, yeah, because I saw a bunch of shows at the 16th house.
Yeah, so 14th was like, it was like all women that lived there. Like Nichelle and a bunch of other people.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was...
Like Dirty Dancing used to play there. And 1931.
What a wild time, man.
Yeah, man. The fucking scene was so much cooler. House shows, honestly.
No, the scene is still cool. The scene is still cool. We are just old.
It's not that. The scene has all of the people that I felt made the scene cool have all went into different subgenres.
And we all got old.
We did. No, it's fine. Fair enough.
The punk, indie, hardcore kids scene right now is still pretty
It's
cool.
still thriving, but there's a lot less houses.
That's true.
I mean, what was that one that was on, was it called the Boneyard? Was that on High Street?
I don't know.
Come on. That was like the ultimate punk house. That was, it was just north of the Dube and just south of Hudson. And it was called like the Boneyard. It was like where all kinds of like DIY punk shows happen.
Crazy. No, I don't remember.
Oh yeah. It even had a fucking sign on the front door.
I was wrong. It wasn't the 16th house. It was the 15th house.
Who was at the 15th house?
I don't know.
You don't remember one person that lived there?
No, I don't ever remember anybody who lived at any house show.
Do you remember, do you know Mike Miracle?
Yeah.
That was my fucking dude. Dude from back in the day.
Dude, that is a name I've not heard in like 10 years.
I know. I saw his face on like Facebook or something the other day.
Whoa.
Anyway, that dude, and I might be putting his shit on blast right now. That dude shit in the top of a toilet.
It's called an upper decker.
Upper deck. Oh, I know.
Upper decker.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do it.
No. He upper decked.
Man.
He upper decked the 14th house.
Oh my God.
And I'm pretty sure that something gnarly happened to their shampoo as well.
Oh geez.
And I'm not here to fucking, I don't know who did it. I was at the.
Start with a J and end with is.
It does. It does. It does. Somebody might have been rubbing some jizz in their hair that night. No, fucking 1931. Obviously, Devin went on to do some shit, right? Casey Strain. So he was in 1931, and I was in Dirty Dancing at the time, and we played a show.
Really quick, your wife just liked my Twitter, my tweet to say go follow my podcast, and then she followed the podcast.
What the fuck? How is she
like
just following?
Now.
Yeah, how is she just following
we have
the podcast?
Now 4 followers or 6 followers or some shit like
on
that.
Twitter?
If you listen to this, go on Twitter and at least follow us. I at least want to feel good about the follower count.
That's the thing. It's like
I totally derailed your story. I'm so sorry.
No. I'm gonna go back to the story and then I'll pick this up.
Amy derailed it.
Amy derailed it. But you picked up the phone and had to talk about it. I'm not picking up my
True.
phone, Colin.
True.
No, so I remember like a fucking, like everybody was moshing and all of a sudden I look out while I'm playing and there's a teddy bear in the middle of the floor. And I was like, why is there a teddy bear there? And so after the show, I walk by and I can't help. I have to like kick the teddy bear. I kick it. Somebody moshed a hole in the wood floor and there is a fucking hole straight to the basement, right? That's not the only hole of the night. So I go out back on the deck.
I don't like the phrasing of that.
Were you thinking sexual
Yes.
holes?
Yes.
Like buttholes and vagina holes?
Like, that's not the only hole that night.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? No, so I go outside and there's a cooler sitting there and like there's beer in the cooler. I get a beer. I move the cooler. Somebody moshed a hole in the deck. Yeah, dude. So in one night, one show, there was a hole moshed in the floor and a hole moshed in the deck.
These days, would they say a hole was yeeted in the floor?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
They yeeted some shit right in the floor.
There was a time at Midgard Comics, Shattered Realm.
Oh, dude, can we get a shout out? Nobody appreciates Midgard.
Shout out to Keith.
Keith,
That dude was
Atomic Spiders.
a fucking asshole.
He was.
But you had to deal with stupid kids, and you have every right to be an asshole.
You know who I saw there?
Who?
Well, first of all, I saw Bayside there several times.
Wow.
Yeah. Before they were shit. I saw them there with like booty Columbus bands like left. And the E was a 3.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's like some corn shit. And I also saw It Dies Today there.
Oh, yeah, I was there.
Oh my God. I bet at my mom's house, I bet it's still there. I bought a size XL, which I still can't wear to this day. An XL It Dies Today shirt. It was red with a fucking black logo that was, I'm not kidding you. It was, the letters were an inch tall and it said It Dies Today. And it was tiny as fuck on an XL red shirt. Red and black. I was repping that Hot Topic shit.
Man, you know what? And you are more into that scene.
What, It Dies Today?
You not hung on, that's not the right word, but you appreciated where metalcore went more than I did.
Especially It Dies Today. They wrote one of my favorite records of all time, the Kate Liff Choir.
What I'm going to say is, to me, that record is like when I started hating that band.
Really?
Yeah, I just liked Moshy It Dies Today. I didn't really like the more Headbangers Ball-y.
See, I thought Kate Liff Choir was amazing because they re-recorded some of their shit with better guitars.
Maybe I'll have to listen to it again.
Listen to that record. Anything after that record, I was not a fan of. I am not kidding when I say one of the heaviest breakdowns of all fucking time, of all time, was track 1.
And on
that CD.
Their first EP, man, that shit was so tough.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they were wearing eyeliner and shit like that.
Yeah. Did you know, okay, I don't want to say did you know, but I heard that Trustkill paid for his throat surgery so that he could sing better and sing more on the later records.
That's probably not true, but I could see it being true.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely came out after he got on Trustkill. They took a break, came back, and all of a sudden, all the tracks had singing on it.
But that show, that A Dies Today show at Midgard was put on by Todd Mann, my boy Todd.
Okay.
And also one of my oldest friends who I've disconnected with, but he lives far away now. But what I was getting at, though, is a show that he booked there. Another show he booked there was Shattered Realm and Full Blown Chaos. And
really? It was there?
Yeah.
Did you know I played with those same 2 bands for my very first Capital Tragedy show at the Warehouse with Rami?
Really?
Yeah.
Symphony Apparel was.
Yeah, you were there
show.
too.
We were on that show.
Yeah, it was Shattered Realm, Full Blown Chaos,
Yes.
Symphony and Peril.
Yes.
And it was your first show on drums, right?
Probably.
Yeah, it was your first show on drums, and it was the first Capital Tragedy show. And
that was the first Capital Tragedy
The first
show?
one. And Justin Rose had come out to our practice spot about 3 or 4 days before that and learned all of our music. And him and Fen were the only 2 people dancing to us. And then literally 7 fights broke out.
Oh, man. You You just like went in a. Hold on a minute.
I unlocked.
Stop.
I
Just stop
unlocked
right
an
there for a minute.
achievement.
What I was trying to say is that Shattered Realm show, and this was the old. This was before Joe Hardcore was singing for Shattered Realm. The old Shattered Realm singer. I remember he was like 450 pounds, and he had like big FUBU jeans and like a fucking jersey, big like North Carolina Panthers jersey, like bright blue.
Some fucking Tar Heels. White and baby blue.
Motherfucker stomped a hole in the stage
Of
Midgard Comics.
Oh man.
During a breakdown. That's all of this Midgard thing came up because I was just trying to get at the singer of Shattered Realm fucking stomped a hole in the stage and it was amazing.
So I used to. Do you remember Billiard Club?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kingsblood played there a few times.
Yeah, I mean, and I played there in several bands, right? But first of all, that was the ultimate Acoustic Tuesday spot. It was awesome.
If you're into that sort of thing.
I fucking loved Acoustic. Okay, so Soma used to play the best shit. They played like Usher and Prince, and like in the same set. Like they'd go up there and do like Usher Confessions, followed by Prince Purple Rain. I'm like,
I don't know this band.
Soma?
Yeah.
Do you know my dude James Trikazi?
No.
God damn it. He played in Capital Tragedy. He also played in my very first band. He also played in Amaya. He also filled in for 1931 for a while. Like he did several things. Regardless, he was in Soma as well. And they were the best cover band. Their covers at Acoustic Tuesday to this day, like, oh, okay, so Capital Tragedy. We had an intro on the CD, the like 6 song we put out, right? And it was like an all piano thing. That was Miz from Soma, who is like honestly, one of the best piano players I've ever met in my whole fucking life. You can just give that dude a key and he'll just run for an hour. It didn't matter. And then Joe Veers cut it up and made some like intro out of it. Anyway, they were the best fucking cover band on the planet. When I was living in Dublin, I went there for an Acoustic Tuesday, get hammered, go home with my roommate. My roommate's driving home, and right before Sawmill, a truck pulls out in front of us. We hit them. And he's in a Honda Prelude, which is kind of a tank. Like those are for a car, that's like a tank.
I always wanted one of those.
Really? They're big as fuck. Anyway, so he hits this truck. It's like a Ford F-150, tips it over. We knocked it over.
Crazy.
Yeah, he pulls out right before, we're on 161, right before Sawmill. Hits it, tips it over. The dude jumps out the truck and starts running. So instinctively, I jump out of the car and chase him. I catch up with the dude right in front of like Joe's Crab Shack. Grab him, slam him down. And he looks up. He's a Mexican dude. He looks up and he goes, Amigo, no cop. And I was like, what? I'm like, this dude doesn't want me to call the cops. And he's like telling us like, don't call the cops. First of all, we just hit you and your truck is literally on the side in the middle of the road. Calling the cops. So, waiting on the cops. This dude gets up and takes off running again.
You got a guy deported that night.
No, just wait. So he gets up, takes off running. I look back, I'm like, oh shit, he's running. I chase him down. At this point, I'm kind of having fun. Like, I feel like I just deboed this guy. I'm like, yeah, asserting my dominance, right? So I grab him again, slam him down. I'm like, you're not going anywhere till the cops show up. He's basically like speaking half Spanish, half English. He's more or less telling me, he's like, this is my brother's truck. Me and you are amigos. This is my brother's truck. You know, I don't want any problems. Cop shows up. He's like, yeah, this is my brother's truck. I'm like, hold the fuck on. That dude speaks English? He was playing us the whole fucking time. The whole time he's doing like the broken English, Spanish type thing. He's doing like the very stereotypical. I thought the dude legitimately didn't speak, but like, 30% English. Nah. Cop shows up. He's like, white as fuck all of a sudden. He's like, yeah, it's my brother's truck. I don't have insurance. I was driving. But I was like, what the fuck? I was so mad. I wish I'd have beat that dude up.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That show, you got my mind going. That show, because that's a significant memory. That was a really good show.
It was a really good show, but there was a lot of fucking fights. It gave me such anxiety because my friends were beating up a lot of people that night.
That was the thing. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Finn spit on my friend Michelle. Spit in her face.
Michelle who?
Robinson. Mish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a lot of shit going on.
He was cussing her out, and she was cussing him out because she was a tough girl.
Yeah.
He spit in her face, and Sierra stepped in.
See? You know what's crazy is
every fight at shows back in that day involved me saying Sierra stepped in. Because Sierra got in the middle of every goddamn fight. My wife.
One of the other fights that happened that night.
Did it involve my wife?
No, it involved my ex. And it was my ex at the time. Like I was single as fuck. But her sister and her sister's boyfriend was there. And they were like crust punk, right? So not used to the style of mosh that Finn was putting down.
Mm-hmm.
And they started getting each other's face. And I don't know if you remember this, but literally during my set, I put my guitar down. And my guitar is just ringing out. And I had to jump down in the middle of Finn and my ex's sister's boyfriend and go, no. And I had to get in Finn's face and go, if you respect me at all, you will not beat this dude up. Because he would have fucking murdered this guy.
Yeah, dude. And also, that was the most Southside Columbus shit you could have said. My ex's sister's boyfriend.
Yeah, exactly. There was mad Southside people. In fact, another fight that happened that night was my Southside dudes and somebody talking shit to his girl, and they were in each other's face. And actually, some Southside shit happened that I did not like. So what happened was this guy talking shit to this girl, the dude steps in. Now, I've seen this dude knock out more people than I can count in completely fair fights. So I already knew shit was about to go down. So I was like, man, why do I always get involved in these things? Why am I always at these fucking shows? But if you didn't know, that compound where it happened, my cousin owned half of that. So it was him and Rami.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we got the show. That's why I was like, how am I always in this shit? How is I am always here when these fights are happening. Like, why am I always around during these fights? Anyway, so this fight's about to happen. I'm like, I already know what's going to happen. I've seen this dude knock out everybody. Do you remember me telling you the story on the podcast where I said I was in 4th or 5th grade and my cousin and a dude came to pick somebody up and whooped this dude's ass? It's the same fucking guy. It is the same guy. Fast forward 10 years.
Oh, man.
Same dude. I've seen him knock so many people out. They're arguing. Guy comes up from the side, knocks this dude out with a punch. Sneaks him, though. I am so against sucker punches. Nothing gets my blood boiling. You ever watch like sucker punches on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
It drives me fucking crazy. I get so irate. I want to murder everybody. When sucker punches happen, it drives me nuts. There is nothing more of a bitch move than a sucker punch. Just fucking fight somebody. If you you know what? I've been beat up. I've beat up. I've done both. Right? I've gotten my ass handed to me and I've beat people up. You just need to fucking fight and just take it like a man. Sucker punches drive me nuts. That is my number one pet peeve.
That's the thing. I don't know anything about fighting because I have not been beat up and I haven't beat up. And so
you said you beat up your brother.
Well, that's my brother and he's 4 years younger than me. That's
Whatever.
Stupid.
Whatever.
I've not it's not my thing. It's not my deal. I'm a peacemaker by nature. And
typically I am too.
But I tell my kids when I see them fucking sucker punch each other, I'm like, I will say, no, stop. That was a sucker punch. That was unfair. He didn't see it coming. You don't do that to people.
Yeah.
Unless I'm just kidding.
Unless they're fucking with your little sister.
2 more things about that show. Or 1 more thing about that show. 1 more thing about a person at that show. Was JDR 13 years old?
Dude, he was young.
He had to be like a little kid. When he was in King's Blood, he was like 19.
He showed up to the show with his hood up and black hair swooped over his face.
Ah! I've never known him like that.
Yeah.
I've only ever known
in girl jeans. He had girl jeans on.
Oh,
And he moshed.
shit.
He moshed the whole night for us. Here's the thing. He came out to our store. We had a storage unit in like Grove City, right?
I've only ever known
like tough guy.
hardcore
Nah.
JDR and hip hop JDR.
No, he was like under oath JDR. So he came out to our practice spot. I don't even know how he got this. I feel like Kent invited him out somehow. He shows up with my now ex-girlfriend. He brought a girl who I ended up dating for like a couple years. He brought her to our practice spot. I wasn't even trying to be in the band. I wanted to manage the band, but they said they wouldn't play a show without a second guitar player. I said, well, my band practices like 5 units down from you. I'll bring my shit down. I'll learn your shit. I'll play your shit, but I just want to manage you guys. Like, I just felt like I could do something with it. Anyway, he comes out and he goes, oh, I love it. I'll be at your show. He moshes the whole night, like fucks it up to us, right? And again, this is girl pants, black hair, hood up, JDR.
Wow.
Yeah.
I really wish I knew that one.
Yeah.
I
you know what's crazy?
I
I actually have somewhere, I have the video of that entire night.
Oh my God.
If I could find that, I'll put it up on YouTube.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So shit was tight.
Speaking of, my guitar player in Symphony Apparel pulled out, he found some old, what are they? C's, mini DVs.
Mini discs?
Mini DVs.
What the fuck is that?
Camcorder.
Oh, yeah.
He found some mini DVs from early Symphony Apparel stuff. And
didn't you just put something up?
Yeah. So then that got me kind of feeling nostalgic.
Yeah.
And and I've been looking for a long time for the Face Down Records Volume 1 DVD. I have it. I have it somewhere. I think it's probably in a box in my dad's storage space or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But nobody has it. I thought Brian Yost had it because he was like a fanboy of Face Down.
Legitimately, I might have it.
Anyway,
if I have it, I'm gonna rip it and put it up.
Anyway, I found it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But it was 240p. So if you do have it, you do need to rip it because this was like a 13-year-old YouTube video.
Yeah.
Or 11 years old or some shit like that. And anyway, it was right when Symphony Apparel signed to Face Down. They were in the middle of, we had just signed, they were in the middle of editing this DVD, and all of the band footage was from Face Down Fest in Southern California. But we had just signed, and they're like, we want to include you on this DVD. Do you have any recent live, or can you film an upcoming show? So we shot a show at Gathering Grounds in Dayton.
Yeah.
With three cameras, and I edited it very poorly. And
that's awesome.
Because I was like 19 years old. 18 years old, something like that. And the label put it on there, and I was still playing bass in the band. Like, this was like like probably one of the very first videos of me playing anything live.
Yeah.
It's wild. So I've been feeling like really nostalgic about that. One more thing. I ran into Finn.
Really?
Maybe.
Man, I haven't seen that dude in forever.
Maybe 3 months ago, 4
No
months
shit.
ago, something like that. It might have been more than that. Maybe it was a year. It was probably a year.
We both obviously know him for a long time because we
Yeah.
call him Finn still.
James is his name.
Jimmy Rommel.
Jamie Rommel. I ran into him at Rumba Cafe. Why was I there? I don't even remember. Oh, this was like 6 months ago. My friend's horror punk band Mummula was playing that night. They dress like mummies, and it's like it's like old school Ramones style punk, but it's all horror themed. And there's a whole scene, horror punk.
Really?
Whole scene. Misfits.
Fuck.
It's all comes out of the
Yeah,
Misfits.
yeah.
Anyway, he was there. You know what he says to me?
What?
He's like, "Good to see you, man." Then he stops. This is very Finn thing to say. Just an asshole. He's such an asshole.
Yeah, he is.
He goes, "You filled out." I was like, "Yeah, dude, I've gained like 40 pounds probably since last time you saw me."
He was always very in shape.
Yeah.
Very in shape. Is he? Yeah. He so I remember so Kyle wrestled in high school.
I always hated him, but I always kind of loved him.
Yeah, no, I think everybody that knew him loved him, but kind of was like, could you just take it down a notch?
I was the opposite. I actively didn't like him, but at the same time, there was something about him that was like, I just really like that guy.
One of the most like genuinely assholeless because he wanted to be an asshole people ever. I gave his band their first show.
Really?
Yeah. So when High Five,
hey, I just gotta say, I got no hard feelings, and I think Finn's awesome.
no, he's fucking great.
Okay.
I fucking still love that.
Back
dude.
in the day, not a fan.
He was a dick, and I told him on the regular he was a dick. I'm like, could you stop seriously fighting my friends? I have 2 stories about him. One, he had a band called Edit, EDIT, Everything Destroyed in Time, and we gave them their very first show.
Wow.
The acronym is fucking you up.
No, I'm listening to your story.
So when High Five, so now it's Condado Tacos.
Yes.
At High and Fifth, but it used to be called High Five because it was at High and Fifth.
There was circus between.
There was circus between, you're right. And there were 2 stages of High Five. There was the stage where they had a stage along the back wall.
All right, so you're talking about High Five when you walked in and had to go down that hallway.
You came in from the back, apparently.
No. Old High Five.
Old High Five, you could walk in from the front and there was a corner stage.
Correct. But there was when you walked in the front, there was a wall. You walked in, had to turn immediately right and go around the wall.
No, you didn't, did you?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
It was before it was all windows.
You remember something I don't. So
I saw Mastodon there when they were a little band.
Okay, so I also was there when there was no windows up front. There were like 2 little windows that weren't see-through windows.
That's what I'm talking about.
Same thing, but I don't remember the right thing. You know the lady that owned that won it in a card game?
What?
Yeah, she won it. Her name was like Diane. She won it in a card game. That's the only reason. And that's why like no money got sunk into that club. And then when she sold it, it moved from that weird little corner stage to a full across the back stage. And then that's when I played there several times.
That's when they put all the windows in.
That is when they put all the windows in, you're right.
Saw a lot of great shows there.
Yeah, there was a lot of good shit there. And weirdly enough, even that little corner stage had a fucking amazing PA. That EV PA cranked. Fucking crazy. Anyway, so we played a show there, and it was back in my very first band. We might as well have been some kind of hybrid between Slipknot and Chimera.
Cool. I'm into it.
Yeah, dude. It dropped B tuning, and I was 18 years old.
By the way, new Slipknot record, best record since Volume 3.
Can I tell you, I'm still only 5 records in, or 5 tracks in.
Dude.
I gotta listen to the rest of it.
I've probably listened to it 5 times.
Yeah,
record's fucking great.
You said that last time, and I was only 3 records in last time. What I did was I went back, listened to the same 3, and then I got 2 more in. I gotta just put the rest of that fucking record in because right now I truly feel like that's what should have came after the self-titled, like before Iowa. That should have come.
We did talk about this.
We did.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Anyway, so we gave them their first show. They had a drummer, this guy named Manny, who was a photographer, and he shot like a bunch of photos for me. Film photos, like
nice.
Pre-fucking digital bullshit. Yeah, but I truly have not run into or seen Finn in quite some time. I remember one time I ran into him on High Street, and I was with my buddy Andrew, which you know Andrew. He came out to my birthday thing. Yeah. Him and Andrew, dude, oil and water.
Oh,
they were about to fucking fight.
Oh, yeah.
Every time they ran into each other. And I was terrified for Andrew's life because I didn't see Andrew fight anybody. Andrew is an asshole. He's a big dude. He knows jujitsu. Like I feel like he could fuck some people up.
He is an asshole.
He is. He's kind of the same dude as Finn. Very outspoken, very straight to the point, very matter of fact. So when they would run into each other and they would start having fucking tension, I was so uncomfortable and I would be like, can y'all not fight? Because I thought Andrew was going to get his fucking ass whooped. I saw Finn wrap
Hey,
Kyle
Andrew,
up.
you listening? He just called you a pussy.
Nah, I ain't saying he was a pussy. I'm saying that Finn was even less of a pussy. No, so I remember also Kyle used to wrestle in high school, and him and Finn used to like tangle, like wrap up in wrestling moves at Hound Dogs.
I remember that.
Dog. It was so uncomfortable.
Oh my God.
Finn was like a fucking permanent fixture at Hound Dogs. Every time I went there, he was there.
Oh yeah.
And then like he would just like wrap me up in something, and I'd be like, Uncle,
I'm trying to hang out at the bar, dude.
I just want to eat my spicy sauce Smoking Joe's crust. Can you like let me out of this move you have me in? Him and Kyle like basically wrestled at Hound Dogs one time.
I feel like I remember that. I remember seeing him wrestle with people.
Dog, it was so weird.
In stupid places.
It was so fucking crazy. It was crazy. So I have two things. I have two other things I want to talk about. One thing is, are you like we've talked about this kind of, but not a lot. Are you a tech guy that likes to tinker with shit, or is that just your brother?
No. That was a nice callback. I can't believe you remember that.
Yeah. You said your brother like took your fucking Big Muff apart.
Yeah. In a different context, that's fucked up.
Well,
here's
here's
the thing.
It's not
that I like to tinker with stuff, but it's like I want to know how you do something.
Yeah.
Like for instance, my Jeep is overheating right now and I need to replace the thermostat. I know how to do that because at one point I was just like, I'm pretty sure that I need to replace my thermostat, and that's how you do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm in that kind of way. Like if it's something that I can accomplish, I want to know how to do it.
So,
I'm not a tinkerer as in like I will take something apart just to figure it out.
I have always been interested in technology. I've always been the go-to person in the family that, hey, come set up my VCR. Like I've always been that guy in the family. So I've always wanted to know how things work. And when it comes to PCs, I've never been a Mac person. I've always been a PC person. Since about like 2005, I've been buying parts and building my own PCs. Most recently, about
you're trying to sell some RAM.
I'm not trying. The shit sold in like fucking 30 minutes, which I have another fucking conversation about that. Regardless, so about 2 years ago when I moved into the new house, I was like, I need to build a new PC. I went to Micro Center. I bought all the parts, built it, had Hayden help me so he could like experience like clicking all these things into their spot, right? Well, it's hard for me to go to Micro Center and not buy shit.
Of course.
I know that solid state drives are pretty cheap right now.
Mm-hmm.
I already had one Samsung Evo drive in my computer. I'm like, first of all, it's this fucking Heckin Cool Dads Podcast shit. My storage is crushed. Each one of our tracks, our audio tracks, is a gig. So we have 20 times 2, sometimes 3. That's like 50 or 60 gigs out the fucking park, right?
Just delete them.
Well, here's the thing. It's hard. I have a really hard time. You know this. I know you know this as a file, like a designer.
Uh-huh.
It's like Final 2, Final 2B. Yep. I bet you got them all.
Mm-hmm.
There's something in me that makes me do that.
_V2, _V12, _V24.
Exactly. Final yes. Times 3. Anyway, so every one of our audio files between our tracks, they're WAV format, not MP3.
Yeah.
They're about a gig.
Yeah.
The video that I pull off my phone onto the computer, about 2 gigs.
Yeah.
I then take that, throw it in Handbrake, make it a steady 30 frames per second so I can sync it with this audio, 2 gigs. Then I take that one.
But you keep the raw footage.
Dog. Like I don't know why. So it crushed my storage.
Put it in the trash can.
I finally did. I threw a bunch of it away. I fucking deleted like all. I'm like, look, if it's on Spotify and it's on YouTube and I have an MP3, I'm done. It's gone.
It's like, who gives a shit?
I deleted at least 60 gigs of Heckin Cool Dads shit the other day. It felt good. Anyway, so my main drive is a solid state drive. It's 500 gigs. It has my operating system programs installed. It's fast as fuck. My secondary drive was a 2 terabyte SATA drive.
Okay.
Way slower. I was like, look, I have another mount another mount spot for a solid state drive. I'm going to go buy a terabyte. I go in to buy a terabyte, and then I go, well, while I'm here, I should look at RAM because I only had 16 gigs.
Wait. That RAM you just sold?
Hold on.
You bought?
Nope.
Recently?
No. That's my old RAM.
So
I had that 16 gigs in my computer. What did I do? Bought the same RAM, but 2 16 gig sticks. So I left with 32 gigs of RAM. Popped that in my computer. Then I got 48. I had 48 fucking gigs of RAM. Opened up everything I could want to open up. I opened up Photoshop. I opened up Premiere. I opened up Studio One. I opened up like 9 tracks and wrote a dubstep song. And after all that, I was using 10% of my RAM.
But that's the thing. It's like you feel so good about it.
Yeah.
You feel so good about it. When in your life are you going to be like open a bunch of Photoshop files and a bunch of music tracks at the same goddamn time?
When I'm editing this, I have all 3 open.
Oh, that's your own
That is my own thing.
fault.
But like when you know how this is. I saw you creating music the other day, some 9 Inch Nail shit. You know how this is.
Catman commented said Trent Riffsner. I was thinking of changing my Twitter name to that.
So when you have all those tracks open and you have a plug-in on each of them, it does get RAM heavy.
Sure.
I was at 10% RAM.
Hell yeah.
So
baby.
I said, okay, I don't need my original 16. I got to get rid of it. I looked it up. It's on sale right now for $109 for those 2 8 gig sticks. I was like, I'll sell them for $50. I put them up. Knox bought that shit. So
he did.
Shout out to Knox.
I saw him throwing some comments on there.
Yeah. So, but here's something I didn't know. When you go to your personal Facebook, personal feed, and you say, I'm selling this for this price, it converts it to a marketplace ad.
Oh, yeah.
Automatically.
Yeah. It's just like if you say, hey, does anybody know?
And it does
plumber?
the recommendation
and it does
thing.
Colin Simula is looking for a plumber.
That is crazy. I am so disconnected.
We have let artificial intelligence run amok.
So
in trivial ways that are going to come back to bite us in the ass.
So I sold this shit to, Knox said he wants it this Friday. Cool, because Knox does studio shit. He needs it. It's actually it's fucking tight RAM. Like it's Trident RGB RAM.
It looks very nice.
Dude, it's so tight. And I actually like when I took 2 sticks out of, because I had 4 in there. When I took 2 out, I was like, damn, my computer's not flashing the same colors as it used to. Like, I kind of want those 4 back. I almost wanted to tell him, like,
oh my God.
I almost wanted to tell him,
your computer's got ground effects.
Dude, my computer definitely has ground effects. I almost wanted to tell him, like, I need these colors for my computer.
Oh my God.
But I'm gonna sell it to him because he does actual shit that needs it. But no, that fucking tripped me out when it converted it to a marketplace. And so I have a lot of music gear laying around that I just need to sell. Yep. I don't know why I have it. I put up a Tascam 16 by 8.
Is this an ad? Are you making an ad?
No, because everybody's already buying this shit.
You sold that today and you put it up today?
I put it up today. It converted it to a marketplace, and it goes, would you like to cross list this any other place? And it recommended all these places, and I just went list. And in like 5 minutes after listing it, I got like 5 different offers. It's like, would you take this? Do you want to trade for this? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, God damn.
Somewhere fucking Craig is going, my list.
Yeah, because it was 100% Facebook Marketplace that was buying everything. Facebook is buying everything.
Craigslist, like the most rudimentary HTML that's ever existed, is going, where's my artificial intelligence?
Do you remember that show that was on Netflix? I think it was on Netflix called Craigslist Joe.
Yeah, I never watched it, but I know what you're talking about.
Do you know what the premise is?
No.
The premise is he traded something very trivial. Like he was like, I have 3 beers left. I will trade those for a brand new pack of coffee. And then he did that and kept trading and got a house. He started with a paperclip. He started with a paperclip and was like, I'll trade this paperclip for something. And everybody kept trading him things that were worth slightly more than what his was worth. And he traded up and finally got a house. He got a house from a paperclip.
So crazy.
Tightest hustle ever. Tightest fucking hustle ever.
Does it get better than that?
Hustle. No, it's that's the best. So the whole point of that whole story was I go there to buy a solid state drive. I leave with 32 gigs of RAM, a terabyte drive, I have a 3.1 port on the back of my computer. I bought a hub to split that into several 3.0 ports because I ran out of USB ports. What else did I buy? 128 gig flash drive. Like, why do I need that? It's just that when I'm in the fucking aisle and I'm looking at them and I'm like 128 gigs, 3.0 USB for $11.99, I need that. I don't know why I need it, but I need it. It's a fucking impulse buy. Bought that shit too. Went home, started putting all my shit together and went, man, this didn't come with a cord. Like, this new Samsung Evo drive didn't come with a SATA cord to plug it in. So I call my friend. I go, hey man, do you have any SATA cords? He's like, I do. I'll bring you one. I'm looking for an excuse to ride my new motorcycle. I'm like, what do you got? He bought the Harley with the Porsche engine.
Oh.
So he got a fucking amazing deal. They listed it as the regular without the Porsche engine, and he lowballed them $2,500 under what they were asking and walked away with a collector's item bike.
Jesus.
For a disgusting cheap amount of money.
Dude, speaking of, were you in the middle of something?
I'm still in the middle of the story.
Go.
You want me to you better remember your story though. Mm-hmm. So I call him, I go, hey, I need a SATA cord. He's like, I'll bring you one. He brings it to me. He hands it to me. I start to try to plug it in. I can't plug it in. I'm like, why is this not going in there? What the fuck do I have plugged in? The whole time there was extra cords plugged in and they were just tucked in. So I had a cord the whole time. I made him drive from Dublin to bring me a cord and didn't realize until I tried to plug it in that all 4 of my SATA ports on my motherboard were plugged in. I only had 2 hard drives. I'm like, why do I have 4 SATA cords plugged in? But decided to just pull on one. It just came out. It was just, the other end of it was just hanging out. I'm such a fucking dick.
Amazing.
What were you saying though? Colin,
you said you need to remember that.
I specifically asked you to remember the story.
There is science around that.
What? If I ask you to remember a story, you won't?
The tip of your tongue.
Really?
Like your brain literally blocks it.
That's bullshit.
Like when you say something's on the tip of my tongue, like your brain is actively pushing against you.
Really?
Yeah. No, I totally forgot what I was talking about. It's fine.
All right. Well, fuck. Let me just move on to, I want to give an update to the people out there that have been listening. I can no longer do my coffee hustle at Kroger.
Oh.
So I walked in one day. I walked in one day to get it, and they were on sale 2 for $4. And I said, okay, if they put them on sale 2 for $4, it means they finally put them in the system.
Yep.
I'm guessing, and this is just total hypotheses, right? I'm guessing that they looked at their data and went, wow, we're selling none of these because they weren't in the fucking system. And they're like, we have to put these on sale.
So maybe you were the one.
No, I think it was the data. I think the fact that they weren't in the system, to their aggregated data, it looked like they were selling none. So they're like, we got to put these on sale.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So it wasn't you, but you were just taking advantage of it.
Yeah. So I should have got more. Mm-hmm. So they put them on sale 2 for $4. They were actually in the system as 2 for $4. They went off sale. Now they're regular price. So I don't buy them anymore.
Bummer.
I don't buy them anymore. Okay. I want to ask something because I noticed something when I was at Kroger the other day. I've never noticed this, and I'm assuming it's a very popular thing that just I hadn't noticed. No matter where I'd be in the store, I would hear something come over the loudspeaker. Security. Call 212. Security, 212.
It's you.
I thought it was me. I said, it's because I'm in shorts with tattoos. Fuck this bougie ass fucking place. Fuck you guys. Like, I'm like flipping off the fuck
cameras.
Y'all.
Where are you cameras at?
So I'm in there the other day at like 1 a.m. I hear it again. And I go, that's weird. There's no way that they're just saying that every time I come in. So then it's like I'm conscious of it at that point, right? Couple more times I go in, I hear it every time. I had to Google it. I had to go, does Kroger play pre-recorded call security messages?
No.
It's to deter shoplifters.
Are you serious?
Yes. I thought it was me. They don't give a fuck about me. It's to deter shoplifters. So if you're in there and you're shopping long enough, you will absolutely. Yeah.
I've heard it.
It's 100% pre-recorded message. It's to deter shoplifters. It fucking blew my mind.
Some dude out there.
Yeah.
Some dude out there was in a board meeting and was like,
you know what we need?
They're like, the CEO was like, too many goddamn people are shoplifting. And he goes, what if we just like acted like people are shoplifting all the time?
Yeah.
Some dude got a raise.
Yeah.
And
I bet it works.
And
because
fucking Kroger's loss prevention has gone.
Until yesterday, I thought it was legit.
That's crazy.
And you know how I found it?
I've heard it. Now that you say it, I've heard it.
You know how I found it? Reddit. I Googled it and found a Reddit thread.
The funny thing is, now that you say it, I have heard it and I have thought to myself, is it because I have a sleeveless shirt and tattoo?
You see? I fucking 100% thought it was me.
It's like because I think to myself, I'm in Grandview or Upper Arlington.
Yep. And I was going,
there's no people of color here. It's me.
I went, I'm in Lewis Center. And I felt
you
like
had the same thought process
yeah,
I had.
I felt like every time I was there, I'm like, there's no way this is happening by happenstance every time I'm here. It's fucking me. No, it's just on like a 40-minute loop. And if your ass is there shopping long enough, you will hear it. It was crazy as I listened and it was like, security, call, 212.
Yeah,
security, 212. And I'm like, bitch, it is 12:37. There are 3 people in this store. That's why I thought it was me. Because I'm like, there is no one in the store but me.
Yeah, that was somebody's great idea.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I feel like it's about time to wrap it up.
Yeah, it's late.
We kicked its ass today.
It's hot as fuck in
it
this room,
is so
too.
fucking hot.
Holy shit,
it is so
man.
hot. We should get a temperature
I got
gauge.
leather shoes on and jeans.
We basically did the recap. So today, my wife went to get a tattoo.
It looks awesome.
You see it already?
She posted on Instagram.
I deleted my Instagram.
You did?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I just had to take it started off, I wanted to take a break. I just got rid of it. I have the Heckin Cool Dads, but I don't have Jeff Money. It's gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
See,
for you.
it shows you fucking how much you pay attention, dickhead.
Come on.
I know. You don't interact with me. You ain't in my mentions, dog. You ain't in my DMs.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
I'm not a businessman. I'm about that business, man. That's some Young Jeezy shit.
I was doing Jay-Z.
Oh, okay. It's probably some Jay-Z shit.
Well, Jay-Z just got canceled though, right?
Did he?
The whole NFL thing. He's not quite canceled.
He'll
yet.
bounce back. He's a fucking billionaire. No, one thing I wanted to ask about. Hang on. I thought I had a top 3 for us. Let me look. Fuck that top 3. We'll do that top 3.
Fuck that top 3.
The top 3 has more to do with Jordan. I like to bring Jordan back to talk about top 3.
Jordan Holland?
No.
Or Jordan
Slack. Jay Sleazy.
That is a good time to wrap up because my wife just texted me, I'm starving, which means
You got to go make that food.
it means pick up Taco Bell on the way home.
Fuck
That's
yeah.
what that means.
Have you fucked with the breakfast yet?
I have not.
Can we please let's commit to potting at like 10 a.m. one day, and I will bring us all of.
Instead
I'll bring
of
us like
beers, instead of beers.
I will bring 2 of everything on that fucking menu, except for the little cinnamon bites because they have those all day. You know what those are.
Mm-hmm.
You want to fuck with trivial things about it? Do you have a trivial thing this week? I don't know that I have one this week.
I don't know. No.
Me either. Let's skip it this week.
You know what? If you're a person who's annoying, it's your week. It's your week
It's
off.
your week.
It's your week off.
Shout out to the annoying people. Y'all keep us in business. And shout out to Jeremy Dameron, by the way, who did that tattoo on Amy.
It was sweet.
From Memento Tattoos, Columbus, Ohio, or Grandview, however you want to look at it. Shout out to Jeremy. He wants to come on the podcast. He said he listens every week.
Really?
Yeah. It's surprising when somebody tells me they listen.
It's surprising to me because we have like 5 Twitter. 6 now because your wife.
Oh, shout out to my wife.
Shout out to Amy Summerfield.
You put my whole government on there?
Bleep out that last name. Bleep that shit out and blur my mouth.
I think we're going to have him on.
Blur my mouth.
Blur your mouth. I ain't blurring your mouth. I don't even... You're talking to somebody that doesn't even know how to do that. Like, you're lucky that you get overlays on the video. I don't know how to do shit on shit.
Oh, I'll blur some mouths out.
You know how to do that?
I can figure it out.
Well, fuck, man. I could figure it out. There's a YouTube video that has shown me how to do it. Like, how to blur a dick. That's what I would Google. I would Google how to blur out private parts. All right, let's wrap this shit up. Heckin Cool Dads.
Episode 20.
Episode 20. We drank some good beers.
Money Man and the Riff Lord.
Fuck that shit.
That's what's good. It's what it's going to be.
No, it's not.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.